Hello, everyone. We're not doing animations today. I'm doing a review. We're talking about Hiya toys instead, specifically the Godzilla 2021, yeah, and King Ghidorah 2019. Now, if you've been living under a rock or simply don't care, Hiya Toys is right now rivaling Monster Arts in the Godzilla figurine game. Yeah, they've been making a lot of stuff, and with Monster Arts not even having competition for so long, they kind of just stopped trying. Like what is this? This is fucking horrible. And old Haya on the other hand is doing real well. Like look at these. These are amazing. Look at the Shimo, dude. Like look at this. It's beautiful. And like $50, take my money, bro. Alright, and the first one we're doing is the Godzilla one, and he looks damn near perfect. Like, this looks ripped straight from the movie, dude. Like the eyes. Start off with them. Look at that. Let it focus. Pretty much just perfectly straight. Actually look nice. Like, damn. I don't know if it's coming well in camera, but it looks really good. Unlike this guy, I mean, I'm not a Monster Arts hater, but they're breaking my heart recently. Now, the scaling detail looks really nice. The mouth, open up these chompers. It's got some very nice internal mouth detail. Tongue's on a little flapper. Teeth aren't all that painted, but it's not a very big deal. And down here, the gills look absolutely phenomenal. Each like sculpted detail is just so intricate. And also, right there underneath his eye, you can even see the little scar he's got under there. That's how much Haya put so much effort into making sure the sculpt was as accurate as possible. Well, you can see the eyes a lot better at this angle. You can see just so much more detail. The spines, move down them a little bit, and they look sharp. Literally, that kind of hurts. But each indent and carving into them with energy will like glow out. Like wow. Yeah, so well sculpted. Just really nice. All the way down the tail. All the way down to the tip of the tail. And they're still decently sculpted down here. Also for that front detail, moving down from the head, we've got some other nice indents down the middle of the neck. Moving down, we've got rock solid lizard abs. Rock solid. Look at and on the arms, very nice overlapping scale detail. And throughout the whole thing, there's a bunch of orangish paint to really bring out a lot of the details. It's a lot more apparent close up, farther away. It does its job alright. It stands out a little too much up close. It's kind of jarring. Then down here, nice claws. Down here, the legs, very nice scale detail again. Down here we got his toes, some legal crap on the bottom, and on the bottom of the tail it looks less armored and more wrinkly. You see the overlapping scale armor plating, and on the bottom we see it's a little more wrinkly and less armored and protected. That's very nice detail down there. Alright, now that we've talked about how beautifully painted all around this guy is, how about we talk about the articulation? Now, sure, Monster Arts still does take the edge on articulation. I mean, they're called the Articulation series after all. What do you expect? This guy still does have a lot of posability. Starting at the head, we can look up about that far. Not enough to recreate the King of the Monsters poster, but I'd say that's pretty far. Down about that far, and side to side a decent amount. Open the mouth and the And the tongue arms can move about that far up, that far in. Do a 360. The elbow is, yeah, that's it. The hands can move pretty fluidly. He's got a pretty good ball joint for the wrist. The waist is just one singular ball joint under there. It's just one big chunk up here. Move down about that far and up about that far. And these two plates might hit each other, so you gotta kind of move them to the side to really reach its full potential of movement there. The legs, however, are much easier to move. We got a full. Okay, maybe we won't get a full 360 there. Moving out about that far, in about that far. Knee is on a double hinge joint, I believe. Move sort of well. And the ankle can not. Okay, yeah, I can pivot a little bit. And finally, moving on to the tail. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, actually. How many points of articulation has it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 9 actually, but it moves pretty fluidly. Moves about to the side about that far, move down pretty well, and can move up pretty well. It has got a pretty wide range of posability. Overall, a very nice and solid figure. Like, it is one of, if not my favorite in my entire collection. It is just perfect. And if Hiya keeps making masterpieces like this, and so far it seems like they are, it just looks like they're just getting better and better at what they do. And that means I'm just gonna keep buying their shit and more reviews. So keep an eye out for those. I will be making more. I plan on it. Yeah, moving on to Ghidorah now, and he also looks really good. It's just another Hiya banger. Now let's take a look at him. And starting off with these head sculpts, I'm going to admit they're not perfect. Like, the jaws are a little wonky, and the eyes are. Let's focus up here. Come on. There it goes. Dropping my camera. Yeah, they're relatively straight on most of the heads. Look a little weird. Tongues are also movable. But other than that, the sculpting looks decently accurate. It's got the crown-like protrusions coming out of each of them, and it overall looks really nice. Very sharp, dragon-like. Almost got like a fish-like frill on each of them. Looks really good. Now moving down the necks, we got this nice overlapping scaly type detail going down, and on the side of it is some nicely sculpted and painted scales as well. They merge together really nice, except on mine. I'm not sure if the scales are supposed to look so dirty. I mean, makes it look more organic, but there's a lot of grays and browns mixed in there. I don't know if that was just sloppy painting or is organic. I'm just gonna say it was that. The midsection's basically the same, just all the scales converge down here to the chest. Some more nice scaly detail. Another one big chunk for the midsection. But if we move up to the wings, now we got a little more to talk about. These look real nice. They've got some veiny detail in the wing membrane between these bones. The spiky protrusions look really nice coming out of it. Like, they emerge from the skin. Nice detail. And these are also on joints, so you can pose the wings around, get a wing walking pose even. But yeah, on that one, you can see it right there. I already broke it. I had to hot glue it. I might need to be more delicate with my plastic figurines. Yeah, but I feel like they kind of overdid it with the vein detailing. I mean, it looks nice, but it could have been a little more subtle. But that's just my opinion, though. Down here to the legs, we got some more scaly detailed, some pretty big spines on each side, actually. And moving down, there's a lot more nice detail overall. The toes are painted decently well. The paint from the scales kind of bleeds onto them a little bit. It's not a very clear transition, but hey, I'll take what I can get. This thing's it's cheaper than Monster Arts, that's for sure. But overall, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Now it's time to move on to the. You know what time of day it is, guys. That's right, we're moving on to posability. And all the heads are basically the same. I'm just going to do the middle one. We got the jaw on a hinge joint. We got the tongue on a hinge joint. I'm going to fit my fingernail in there to really move it. And how many joints for the head? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And that offers a really nice range of movement. Alright, and moving down to the body is just one big chunk again, so kind of limited, can pivot a decent amount. That much forward, that much back. Side to side motion's pretty limited though. The legs, I'm pretty sure, aren't that bad. They can barely even pivot back and forth. It's only about that much. And yeah, thigh can't move all that great. Can do a 360. There we go. We made it. Knee joint, go forward. Okay, doesn't move all that much. Here, this joint moves a decent amount. And finally, lower ankle joint here can pivot a little bit. It doesn't do all that much though. The wings have an alright range of movement. These do come off. You can have a more connected look, or you can take that off when you do the wing walking pose. If you just disconnect this bottom part can pivot a decent amount on its ball joint. The bigger ball joint for the larger section of the wing has a lot more movement. It's connected to this big piece back here, which can spin around, offering for greater movement. You can move up and down decently far. These segments, yeah, I already broke one of them, so be careful with it. But they can disconnect and like fold over one another. Do the wing walking pose. I'm not gonna try it again here right now because I don't want to break anything else. Now for the tail articulation, it's got a lot of points on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 points, offering a lot of movement here. And I also wanted to mention, I also broke this tail too. You can see right there, one of the spikes is broken off, but the ball joint in there is broken. Well, it's not the ball joint, it's mostly the hole it plugs into. So, little explanation. In the unboxing process, putting the tails on, like an idiot, I didn't follow the instructions, and like it said to use boiling water or a hair dryer to heat up the plastic so it expands properly. You could fit it on. Yeah, I didn't do that. Instead, what I did was use a knife to carve the hole to be bigger and fit it on. But now it just doesn't fit properly, so I had to hot glue it. So don't be me, guys. Don't think you're smart when you're not. You think you're 2 steps ahead when you're 4 steps behind. Don't be stupid like me. All right, now the last thing I want to mention is my main problem with this figure is being the back detail. It's sculpted really nice, but the paint isn't so great. You can see there, like, the bone color is just painted on, like, they put a drop on each spike and then decided to move on, you know? It doesn't look very good. It's even more apparent the lower you get. Yeah. doesn't look the greatest. They just plopped it on and moved on. It doesn't look very good. Come on, guys, that was lazy. But I will say, it looks good on the tails, though. It's not perfect. It's not a perfectly clean transition, but it's still good. Better than the back. Alright, after the review, I gotta say, this is a pretty nice figure as well. If I were to give it a number rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 9. Pretty solid, pretty decent. Same goes with Godzilla. Pretty decent figure. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Ghidorah does also come with stands, but I guess that's not really an important accessory to really go over. He doesn't really need them. He's standing up just fine. And if I were to give Godzilla one, I'd say he's a 9.5 out of 10. Other than the articulation being limited, he would be perfect. It's just these two are great. Well, I gotta say, I did a fantastic job with these two. Like, if their other figurines are around just half the quality of these two, I will be picking them up ASAP. These two are just great, and I had a blast doing this. It's a little different than the usual stuff, and let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do more stuff like this. I would really appreciate your feedback. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. That'll be very important and help me out a ton. Like, really, we gotta fix these numbers. So yeah, let me know if you want more of this stuff. Next will be animation, and yeah, that's basically it. Bye bye now.